Hey, Kelly. So you were telling me about a cool little life hack for dancers, like when you're traveling, how to get kind of introduced to a community. I thought it was really cool. Could you tell us about it?
Yeah. The group class, man. The group class is gold for anything you need while traveling. So if you're out on the road, you're traveling, you're flying, you're whatever, you're not in your normal scene, and you say you use the Talk.dance app, right? And you found this place and it has a group class. Doesn't matter what your level is, take the group class. Because if you're intermediate or advanced and it's a beginner class, you can then meet people. So that way you now know everyone in the group class, right? And don't go and try to teach. If you already know how to dance, don't disrupt the class, but get to know everyone. Because then after the class, now you have all these people that you know. And once other people see you dance, now they know you can dance. Because I've been dancing a long time and I travel a lot. And if I go somewhere where I don't get a chance to make the group class, I get turned down a lot. Like I really do. I don't know. Maybe that's just, maybe I'm too pale. Who knows, man? I don't know. But if I go somewhere and I have a chance to hit the group class, I'll hit the group class. Beginner class doesn't matter. And so I get to know people.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. They get to know you a little bit. They see you don't bite. Um, right. But yeah, I think that's great. And if you have some talent, then it's kind of that opportunity for people to see that, hey, Kelly knows something about dance, right? And
Yeah.
he seems like kind of a fun person. Maybe you're not Kelly, but whoever you are, that's an opportunity. And if you are a beginner, well, hey, it's a great way to get into the community anyway. So
I agree. And if you can't, if for whatever circumstance you can't make the group, right? Most of the time, either the teacher of the class or a teacher in the community will stay and dance, right? Because that's why us teachers dance. If we can fit it in our schedule, we want to dance. So if you can't make the group class, then ask whoever's at the desk or the organizer, or if it's at a bar, ask the bartender, like ask somebody who's in some sort of position of authority who taught the class, and then go ask them to dance. Because as a teacher, we'll 99.9% of the time say yes. So, and everyone in the room watches the teachers. So now they can see, oh, this new person knows how to dance. Look how good they look with the teacher. And then now you'll have another in if you ask people to dance. So those are a couple little life hacks I use when I travel and I go to a place that I don't know.
that's really great. I like that, Kelly. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem. So the other night I'm out dancing, Dave, and just the craziest thing happened. So let me preface what I'm talking about. Some of the places that I go to are all ages, even if they're at a bar, because it starts early enough, the lessons and stuff, that you would take the kids out you know, normal bedtime, and that would get them out of the bar or whatever. So it's all ages, and typically you don't see it really obnoxious, right? You don't see young kids. Well, the other night, this lady came in with this young kid, and I'm talking like 4, young little boy, full of energy and bouncing around, but being excited because he's a little boy, right? But being respectful, not yelling too loud and not running into people and being obnoxious. And so this lady and her son, his name was Maximus, by the way, awesome name. So they came in, and I offered to show them the basic because they had missed the lesson. And so I'm showing her the basic, and she had thought it was like an East Coast or a Lindy, because she just wanted to swing her son around to some big band music. And I was like, that makes total sense. However, you picked a West Coast night. It's a little different atmosphere, right?
Right.
But she was like, that's all right. The lesson's going to get done soon. She wanted to check it out. So I'm teaching her the basic, and I'm getting to know Maximus, right? And this is excellent, and people are saying hi, and life is going well. And I think her and Maximus are going to have a good time, right? Because it's modern music. Woohoo!
Yeah,
And
yeah, awesome.
yeah, right? And so the first dance out of the gate, the craziest thing happens. So I'm dancing with this lady, and And we're dancing West Coast, and it's all slotted, right? And sure enough, Maximus is out on the floor running around, but he's not running in between the couples. Like, oddly enough, he's paying attention to the slots, and he might run next to you, but he's not running in between you. He's not under your feet. So, and he's typically staying by his mom, right? So they're off in the back a little bit, but him and I got to know each other, and well, you know, I'm mentally the equivalent of a 4-year-old, so he's got a buddy here, right? So every now and then he's coming by me, but he's not running into me, but he's coming by me. And the craziest thing that happened is this: the lady proceeds to practically melt down. And what are you doing? Like, almost yelling at the kid. What? Stop running around, blah, blah, like yelling at this 4-year-old for being excited and happy. And then finally it gets to the point where this lady says, if I kick him, it's his fault, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, how are you going to kick a 4-year-old? What is happening right now?
Yeah.
I couldn't even talk. All I could do at that point was play keep away between her and this kid. Now, the Maximus's mom was doing pretty good about noticing and trying to get Maximus away, but he's a 4-year-old boy. He squirms and wiggles, and then he gets away again, and he comes over, and he's just come and say hi to me. He's not being obnoxious.
Right.
But I had to keep this lady away from this boy for the rest of the song. And then, like, she had an attitude after the song. I was blown away, man.
Oh, that's too much. Yeah, I might have the similar maturity level or something. Like, I love kids, and I'm like a little kid myself. I think in that situation, I'd be like with the kid as well, right? Like, I love those kind of interactions. I don't know how I deal with that either. I do understand if a kid was really getting a little bit more underfoot and that being frustrating for someone,
right?
But it doesn't sound like that's the case, and so I don't really understand what was going on.
I don't know. I don't want to say
maybe
names.
she was just having a bad day or something.
Yeah,
something else going on in her life, but
who knows? And I can understand, right? You want to go out, you want to dance, you want to shake off your day. That's you time. I totally get it. But I feel right now I feel like that commercial, for a cup of coffee a day, you can sponsor somebody, right? Because for one song a night, you can just chill out and not kick a kid. Like,
right.
I couldn't even believe it. And they weren't there that long. I think I decided to look around like maybe 3 songs later, and they had already left. So they weren't staying all night. So Here it is, 5 songs into the night, and the kid's not there anymore. So you made all this fuss for nothing.
It seems like, people sometimes need to chill. I think the first time I went to a dance weekend, interestingly enough, I'd never been to one before. I didn't know what it was like, and someone had told us about it, and we called up. We said, do people bring their kids? And they were very nice. They said, yeah, you can bring their kids. And like, we showed up. We were the only ones with kids, like hundreds of people. But yeah, I have to say, like, our kids weren't that young. They're probably like more like, I don't know, 8 and 10 or something like that. And we had bought them dance shoes, and they joined in the lessons and stuff.
Oh, that's so cool.
But like it was kind of fun. I think in general, not just in dance venues and other places as well. Sometimes you can just chill about kids, right? Sometimes people get too worked up.
Yeah, like it was just unnecessary to get that worked up. Once I started dancing, I come to find out, like on my dad's side of the family, they were all dancers at one point. Like my grandma and grandpa met at a swing dance, like back in like the 30s or whatever. Like, it's insane. And so then once we found all this out, they'd share all these stories. Like, they would drag their kids to the ballrooms. They would drag their kids to the dances, to the point where my Uncle Roger was notorious. When he was done, he was done. So he would crawl under the band riser and go to bed. Like, he would just crash out. So they're dancing all night. Uncle Roger's under the riser, just passed out while the trumpet's blaring over top of him. Like, it's so ingrained for the family to do that. Nobody cared about the kids. They weren't mean. They were just chilling.
Right. Yeah.
That's crazy to me. I'm literally, it's like a trauma to me. I can't even believe it. I can't I can't even believe someone would actually be like, if I kick this kid, it's the kid's fault. And was like looking like at the kid. And I was like, stop trying to kick the kid. I don't what this isn't pin the tail on the donkey. Don't kick the kid. Like, it's crazy that has to be said out loud. Don't kick the kid. Like, I don't.
Good rules to live by.
It's still to this day. It was man.
Oh my God.
Weird, wild, wacky stuff.
You know, at one time they used to teach like little basic etiquette in like grammar school and stuff for kids. They don't really do that so much anymore.
Nah.
But sometimes I feel like they need this for like older adults as well. Like,
yeah.
Here's a good one. Don't kick the kids.
Right? Oh man.
Why not try saying a kind word to them, or you know?
God, maybe introduce yourself. Like what?
Yeah.
Oh, kicking the kid, dude. That's insane.
Ask them to pull your finger.
Oddly enough, I never hear that joke anymore.
Oh, then you're definitely beyond the 4-year-old stage.
Yeah, right, exactly. Oh man. But I hope they come back. I hope they come back on the different night, on the Lindy night. Because they would love it to watch this lady just swinging her son around and just because the kid was a ball of energy, excited, friendly energy, not like obnoxious energy. Like the kid wasn't asking for the phone. The kid wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't like tugging on mom. The kid was interacting. The kid was loving it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best kind of kid experience because certainly there are times, and we've all seen them, like you have a kid just having a meltdown or something like that. And that's definitely not pleasant. But I love like kids that like are just enthused and happy. And I wanted to say, like, who doesn't love that? But clearly there's the odd person who doesn't.
And clearly I danced with them. Clearly. Yes. Oh man, who doesn't love that? Oh my God. Can you imagine though? Can you imagine starting that young? Like I can't even imagine my life if I started dancing that young.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Oh. Well, there you go. That's Talk.dance tip of the day. Don't kick the kid.
Hey, Kelly. So
what's happening, David?
One of my favorite dances is ChaCha, or some people say the ChaChaCha, or some people have other terms for it. I've heard you call it.
I call it many things, actually. I call it ChaCha. I call it ChaCha 1. Some people call it the ChaChaCha. It originally was called the Triple Mambo. And every now and then I like to call it George. I mean, why not?
Just to be different.
Just to be different.
Tell me about why ChaCha 1.
Because so with ChaCha, right, you wanna break on 2. Right? That's the point. And the break is you change the direction, right? Whether it's a side break, whether it's forward or back or whatever, you change the direction. So you break on 2, but you always still want to accent the 1. So a lot of people will talk about if you go cha-cha-cha, then sometimes they skip through the cha-cha and they're not really accenting the 1 before the break on the 2. So mostly competitors to really change the feel of an accent to 1, they'll count it as cha-cha 1, 2, 3, cha-cha 1, 2, 3. And then they can make that 1 movement similar to the 2 and the 3, and then your cha-cha is a different, snappier movement.
Right. Yeah. I agree. So the reason I want to talk about this is because I've seen sometimes beginners, especially, get confused, and they'll hear about cha-cha, and they'll hear about ChaChaCha, and they think maybe there's something different. But I've people ask me, I've learned how to do cha-cha. How do you dance cha-cha-cha?
Yeah.
It's kind of a funny conversation, right?
I mean, it's all the same dance, you know.
It's the same dance, right?
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes as a beginner, you hear about this same dance by different names, and sometimes you think they're different things. And it got me thinking about which is better as a name. And as I thought about it, cha-cha-cha is maybe, on one hand, and maybe it's kind of a directional way of thinking about it, that you have the kind of your breaking steps. We have these 3 steps in a basic, right? In kind of in line. But I personally prefer the term cha-cha because there's really just in a cha-cha, there's really only 2 quicks. And I think when you call it cha-cha-cha, it gives the wrong idea to
I agree. I agree.
person.
But I think, I don't know, I'm open to all terms of interpretation, right? I think if you're going to say a masquerade party, right? You want a mask, you want some sort of mask. You don't want to show up in a Halloween costume, right? So you just want to be appropriate to whatever the situation is. So I think if I'm dancing socially, it might be more of a cha-cha-cha feel, right? It's like a doon-doon. You're just kind of grooving through it. But if I'm dancing competitively or I'm putting on a show, then I like more of a cha-cha one. So that way you can really show the difference between, like you said, the slows or the quicks.
Yeah. And I'm for me, I think it really just comes down to instructionally. To me, I think the concept of calling it cha-cha makes it a little bit clearer in a sense, because you can certainly count 2, 3, cha-cha-cha, 2, 3, cha-cha-cha, but either just saying cha-cha or sometimes call it out by numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1.
And plus, like, you run into so many different things, right? Like, look at not modern, but look at pop culture. Like, look at all the songs that talk about the cha-cha-cha, right? They give it 3 chas just as a culture thing. So you know what I mean? There's so many different ways to go about it, but I completely agree. If I'm dancing it, I want to have that ability to showcase the difference between the slows and the quicks. So I like a cha-cha one or a cha-cha side or whatever.
Right.
But as a beginner, it is so much easier to teach rock, step, cha-cha-cha, rock, step, cha-cha-cha. So I think there are layers to it. You know what I mean? Plus Filipinos, right? Oh, I love Filipinos. They rock out bolero and cha-cha. But it's the way they do their cha-cha. Socially, Filipinos are a rock, step, cha-cha-cha, and they'll break on the 1 instead of the 2 as a social. And yet they'll do this really advanced bolero action socially. So it's just so funny how they're from one extreme to another. So I think when in Rome, so to speak. So if I'm rocking out the Philippines and they're all dancing on 1, I'm not going to be the white guy trying to get them to break on 2. I'm just going to be like, all right, we're breaking on 1 tonight. Whatever. Right? How great is that? Some white guy trying to tell Filipinos when to break. That would be a mess. That would be an absolute mess.
That's funny. So if you're a beginner and you've ever been confused and wondering what the difference between cha-cha and cha-cha-cha is, or maybe you've heard it by a different name, the answer is the difference is only in spelling and obviously pronunciation, but it's the same dance. And call it whatever you care to call it, but call it
George.
Like, yeah. Very cool. Okay. Kelly, my man.
David, whoa, it's that time again, man.
If you're paying attention, you'll notice that we've got someone new with us today.
Oh.
Exactly. We are so honored to have with us a new co-host on our podcast, Miss Michelle Riches.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, Michelle. It's wonderful to meet you. David has told
you.
Yeah, David has told me about you off camera, right? And he speaks very highly of you. If you could just, in your own words, give us a little background about you and your interactions with dance or whatever.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to. I'm a little bit of the odd story. I notice a lot of people in the dance world tend to have a history of dancing from a very young age. And that was not me. So I started as a student, as an adult, and I had already had my kids and started raising my family. And it was just one of those lingering bugs that was in my world that I was like, no, I need to do this. So I started as a student, fell in love with it, dropped that career, went into training and did everything I could to get certified completely. and wanted to just be a part of the world and be a teacher. And then I not only wanted to be a teacher, I decided I needed to own the business, and then I needed to own the building. So I just kept going. So I'm
I love
a
it.
little bit determined, to say the least. So nonetheless, in my early 30s, I dove in and started that wonderful world, which is where I'm at. So I am now the partner in a social dance studio here in Niagara, in Canada. And we have a beautiful studio of adults that we teach social, ballroom, Latin, and swing. And we are almost at 20 years of business that the studio's been running.
Congratulations, man.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing. I, having taught dance for like 20 years now, I understand how hard it is for a dance studio to hit the ground running and to stay open. So that's super
Absolutely.
impressive.
Yeah, we're very lucky. We have a wonderful little niche here, and it is a social place for everyone. And David knows, which is the beautiful place of where we met, because he was coming here when he would come to his home and visit his family, and he would come to the studio once in a while. So we would dance together, and it was always just this wonderful chemistry on the dance floor of just like, oh, it's one of my favorite partners. And so I love dancing with David, and then our friendship has blossomed from there. It's true, David. I tell you that all the time.
I feel the same way.
That's awesome.
I feel the same way. So we'll post a link in the show notes, but the name of the dance studio in St. Catharines, Ontario is?
socialeasedance.com would be your link online if you're going there. And of course, Facebook is a big plug too. We have a lot of current events that are up there all the time, and great little pictures and details of that. So the website is socialeasedance.com, and then Facebook as well, you can find us on. Very
cool. Yeah. Michelle and her partner Gregory have just a wonderful community there, and it's just it's a nice atmosphere. I really enjoy getting there on the rare occasions when I do get up to Canada and get to stop by your place. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
So welcome to the podcast. We're really excited to have you join us.
I know, and I'm excited to be a part of this. Great conversations about a topic that we're all deeply passionate about, and that is dance. So we are going to have many great conversations.
Excellent.
Yeah. Very excited.
Kelly's ready.
I am. This is super exciting. I want to pick your brain already about so many things. So
yes,
it's going to be
absolutely.
Great.
And I get to represent the other half of this world, right? I am the only female on this panel, and it's going to be a good balance.
David, I'm taking credit for your joke earlier. It takes two men to do what one woman does. So.
That's right.
Entirely true, right? Oh, that's great.
Hello, David.
Hi, Michelle.
How are you today?
I'm awesome.
I'm happy because it's sunny and it's Friday and I'm talking to you. So that makes it a good day.
Nice. I feel the same.
We don't have a lot of time today, but I do want to see if we could have a quick conversation about maybe adding some styling and embellishments into our ChaCha.
A little bit of zing, a little bit of spice.
A little bit of spice.
Nice.
Just to think about how can we jazz it up and make it look a little bit more intriguing, and where would we do it, and how do we like to do it, and how do we lead that? All those conversations. We probably don't have time to answer them all, but it'll be a good start on the topic of jazzing up your ChaCha. Right.
And I do think there are things you can do even with basic steps to kind of set yourself apart. Once you have a little bit more experience doing something like incorporating a new timing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a tricky platform if I can, I like your comment about making sure that you have a little bit of experience, maybe not at a super beginner level. ChaCha is already inherently a little bit faster, and we're dealing with the syncopated dance even in the basics. So there's already a little bit of pressure at understanding that, but it's learning where and how to change your timing or add embellishments that just give it a little pizzazz, right? That's what we want to talk about.
Right. So earlier, Kelly and I had a segment where we talked about ChaCha versus ChaChaCha, and in fact other names, and we talked about the fact that they're all the same dance, because sometimes people hear these different terms and they think maybe they're different dances. And
yes,
I mentioned that personally, I prefer the term cha-cha over cha-cha-cha because I personally think it gives you a better idea of what the dance is. Like there's just one syncopation. It's,
Oh,
1, 2,
thank
3, 4, and 1. But the cha-cha-cha almost kind of, I think, mentally can give people the wrong idea.
Yeah, we need to
So
talk about
cha-cha
that
and
for
then
a
1.
second. That
Um,
is such an important part of the misconception of cha-cha, because people often say, oh, cha-cha-cha. And even in a teaching perspective, sometimes people will use cha-cha-cha as they do their 4 and 1. Well, therein lies the problem, because we are not equalizing those 3 steps. And as soon as we say them all the same, we think that they're the same value with our feet. And so we need to trust that the cha-cha is giving us the proper syncopation. So depending on how you teach it, it's just a quick little tangent on the timing of the basic cha-cha step, right?
right. So we're going to talk today about what's called Guapacha timing.
Guapacha.
Guapacha. Uh, and it's a little bit confusing because it's spelt with a G, but the G is not pronounced. So it's spelt Guapacha. And sometimes I make the mistake and I call it Guapacha, but it's actually Guapacha timing. And the idea with Guapacha timing is that you you hold the one beat a little bit longer. So a regular cha-cha timing is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Cha-cha 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. If you count it out, it's 4 and 1. So with Wapacha, you hold that 1 kind of a half beat longer, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Hold and 2. 4 and 1. Hold and 2. And it gives this little bit of a spice. And you can do that at any point as you're dancing midway through a song. You typically wouldn't dance Wapacha timing for a whole cha-cha. I guess it's possible. I've never seen that done. But
Oh,
at
but
some
they end
point,
up being embellishment moments, right? Where you might do that rhythm for a few bars and then you would go back
right,
to the rhythm.
right. And you can do it in a basic step. You can do it pretty much for any cha-cha steps. You can do it during a crossover, during a turn, a spot turn. It's not too difficult as a leader, as when you do the first one, to communicate that just through your frame to the leader. And then you can do that together. And then at some point you just break out and you go back to the regular timing. We have a video that I will I'll put a link to it in the show notes. Tatiana Keegan, a friend of the show. Many of you have seen her give some dance exercise tips, and there was an interview we did with her. Tatiana is going to do a demo of how you do Wapacha timing in the cha-cha. And it's just a little tip if you're ready for it. It's something you can try to incorporate now and again to just add that little bit of spice in your cha-cha life.
Ah, a little spice in your cha-cha life. There's a good line for you, David, right there.
I think that's going to be the headline for that segment.
It should be, absolutely.
Very good. Well, I hope you all enjoy giving that a try at some point, and share your comments, your thoughts on it. You can
Yes,
reach
let
us
us know if you have another way that you like to embellish or change your timing, or just even little touches that you add in. There's lots of little tricks where you can do retractions before you do your points in your cha-cha. You can do lots of little things that just sort of add some style. So perhaps we'll come back and revisit this topic after we get some feedback.
Yes, we do intend to give a couple of similar tips in later episodes for other dance styles.
Yes.
Just little kind of pro tips for how you can spice up that style of dance. Maybe grab someone's eye and say, "Oh, what's Michelle doing there? That looks a little bit different. That's interesting," right?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
yeah, kind of show off your stuff. So yeah, if you have thoughts on that, you can contact us at info@talk.dance.